Hello, trainers and learning development professionals. My name's Emil. I've been working in educational technology for over 30 years and in artificial intelligence since the early 90s. And I'm going to show you how we use artificial intelligence to create great learning content and some worked examples using the Google Gemini system and how we can use it to create vibe coding, which is a really exciting new addition to your e-learning and educational armory. So let's go. Okay, so let's have a look at Gemini closer. Now, Gemini, like ChatGPT, can be used to create learning content. So, for instance, if we wanted to do something like create for me a 2-hour course on mindfulness for emphasizing how to control stress in an office, in a work environment, say, a work environment. It will create that course for you. So it will create the learning goals and information, course description, and stuff like that. And again, all these AIs, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Claude, whether it's Gemini, it will create for you just an idea, and it's up to you to look at that and interrogate that and change it however you want to. So say, for instance, with this mindfulness course, you may want to put an emphasis on the use of meditation and taking yourself away from stressful situations. And this iterative approach allows you to hone and tailor what you've first created and create something a bit more tuned to exactly what you want. So unlike the approach of using a Google Notebook where you are giving it all the information you need to start off with, so hopefully it's ring fenced that and it will produce something a bit more attuned to what you want. In using Google Gemini directly without this ring fencing, you may have to do a little bit more of this iterative back and forth before you get exactly what you want for your learning content. And you can use it to create handouts or create a PowerPoint presentation in the same way you can do with ChatGPT. However, what I want to show you now is the things that differentiate Gemini from ChatGPT and the things where it really stands out and it really produces content that's quite unique from other areas out there. So let's just first of all have a look at vibe coding options. Now, vibe coding is basically you give it the vibe, you give AI the vibe of what you want, a rough feeling of what you want to achieve, and then the AI will do the hard work for you. So let's just say, create for me a flashcard game on mindfulness using the learning from the course we have made. And what it does is it opens up a virtual machine to create this course for you. Now, in this case, it's basically doing an offline game. So it's giving you instructions, giving you game setup, and it's an interactive game you can do with your attendees. And you've got practice cards, you've got question cards. But let's say if we want to take this a step further and say, no, we want to create an online mini game instead. Please do this. So let's just see if it takes the hint and it gets out its coding hat. Before we continue, a quick thank you from our sponsor, OpenElm's Learning Generator. With just a text prompt or document, AI instantly builds a full professional course, complete with video presenters, quizzes, animations, and voiceovers in any language. You can edit everything online and export it as e-learning, a PowerPoint or video. And coming soon, you can even export it as a podcast or video game experience. The best part, you can try it free for 14 days and see how you can use this special agentic AI system to transform your training at openelms.ai. Back to the show. And it gets out its coding hat to do some vibe coding. So, it's opened up its coding window and now it's creating the code for you to create this mini game. It says, I definitely can do that. I've created a simple online mini game called Mindful Escape that puts the course concepts into practice. In this game, your goal is to manage your stress level by using mindfulness techniques. Watch out for the stress triggers that pop up on the screen and use tools at your disposal. So you can play the game directly, and all the code is contained below. I don't know what I need to do on this. Game over. Oh, I didn't survive very long. I hope you enjoyed playing this mini game. It's simple. Ask for the instructions. What are the instructions for the game? Sorry if I'm being a little bit dim. I ask the instructions, and it's going to give me instructions. The objective is to manage your stress level and survive as long as possible. The longer you can keep your stress bar from filling up, the higher the score will be. I guess I need to click on the trigger bubbles in order to manage my stress level. It's a very simple game. So basically, anything comes up, urgent email, I get rid of them, and my stress levels will go down. So these are things obviously I need to look out for. Tight deadline. I want to take a break. I take a break and it pauses it. I can do mindfulness breathing as well. It's a pretty nonsense game, to be honest, but you get the point. You can create very quick mini games like this. Now, if this game you think, well, that's great, but I don't really think it's appropriate for me, we can change it in some way. So we'll say, can we make the labels that come up contain stressors and non-stressing activities? Clicking on non-stressing activities will decrease stress levels. Hitting stressing activities will increase stress levels. Now we need to actually have some sort of concentration on what we're clicking on. It's not just a matter of clicking on something to reduce stress levels. We'll have to be mindful, literally, of what we're clicking on. Now, what it suggests here is basically stress triggers will be in red and mindfulness activities will be in green. This makes it obviously very easy to play the game, but we'll give it a go. So if we just click on that, you can see that increases the stress level, that decreases the stress level. And we can go back to the design again and say, do not make stressors and mind activities in different colors. Increase the stress levels more than decreasing stress levels when clicking on each type. So now, having done this, it's going to make changes again to the code. You can see it's thinking about that, making changes to the code. So hopefully now we'll have a bit more of a proper game here. So we can actually have to look at what are stressors and what are not stressors, and actually think about those things when we're playing the game. So it's just making those changes to the game, and we can play it again. So now we should have things that come up where we can't necessarily see if they're stressors or de-stressors. So we click on that. Oh, we got that one right, and it decreases our stress levels. It decreases our stress levels. So we're hitting the non-stressors to decrease our stress levels. Hopefully we'll be able to do something about it, and we can decrease the stress levels. But if we click on it wrong, we'd lose. And there's the game over. You survive 27 seconds. So you can see this is classic AI. It produces something, but we've always got the reins. We've always got control, and we're controlling exactly what we want to do with the game. You can produce content like this. You can share it with your audience, and you can have this as a fun activity to do in the middle of an online webinar session, or you can use this as pre or post game learning. And you've got total control. So if you want to say, create this game in my company branded colors of orange and green, it can do that as well. So you can make changes and you can give it the look and feel of exactly what you want to. Now, this is just one example. It's a mindfulness game. I mean, before I started this presentation, I had no idea what I was going to create. But you can create lots of things like flashcards and arcade games and give it a learning slant. So we just have a look at something else we can create. So basically here we have it, but now it's within our company branded colors. And you can see it's got more of a look and a feel to our company branding. So if we want to create a new game, we can close this down. And so we'll say, create a new online game, make it a snake arcade game, when we get something, when we crash, make it ask us a question about mindfulness, and if we get it right, we can continue. So let's just try something else. So here we can see we can create a different type of game using Gemini coding, which again we can save and we can share. And the great thing about Gemini is, to most users who use the Google Workspace infrastructure, it's entirely free. You can create great content, and it's just getting better and better and better. So 6 months ago, it was very buggy, wasn't working very well. Now it's an absolute joy to use, and you can create some really, really cool stuff that you would have thought impossible for a non-coder like myself to do. So here, for instance, we have a mindful snake game. We'll start it, and it hasn't worked. So again, AI, an iterative approach. I would say a snake game involves a snake moving around on the screen, eating blocks. The game stops and a question is asked once the snake hits its own tail. Please make changes and tell me how to start game. I just thought maybe we just hadn't started the game, so we'll just ask it for some instructions on how to start the game as well. I've updated the game according to your request. The game now only pauses and asks a question if the snake crashes into its own tail. The walls are no longer game-ending obstacles, so you can move through them. To get started, simply click the Start Game button. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, it's still thinking at the moment. Okay, so we'll start game. And it's not working. This will stop the snake moving and make that face. We'll say the snake is not moving when the game starts. So again, AI really gets it right, everything right first time. You have to interrogate it and quiz it and get it to check exactly what it's doing, basically. So it says that you're absolutely right. The snake wasn't moving because its starting direction was set to 0. So it was just staying in place. So basically what the AI has done is it's found the bug and fixed the bug. I fixed the code so the snake starts moving to the right as soon as you hit the Start Game button. You can now try the updated game in the preview on the right. Let's see if this works. Oh, but how do you move the snake? Okay, so the snake is not moving left or right, or up and down when I press the cursors. How do I control it? So again, it's getting feedback from myself as the human in the loop, and it's going around and doing the donkey work. It's basically working out exactly what's wrong. So it says, thank you for catching that. The game had a bug that was preventing the snake from moving in the new direction. I fixed the code. It's promised us that before. So the snake now moves correctly to your keyboard input. You can now use the arrow keys to control the snake and move it left or right. So you can now try the updated game in the preview on the right. So let's try this again. So we'll start the game. We're moving through the wall, and you see now we can move it. And as we move it, our snake gets bigger. But I can't see how we get asked questions. Let's just see how we do that. No. Okay, so I'm going to ask it again. I'm going to say, when we hit a wall, actually, I'm going to just see if I can hit my own tail. Try that again. So if we focus on this, I need to get it bigger to hit my tail. And a little while later, it looks like it's not working. So I'm going to try this one more time. Great. So last question. What's the difference between hearing and mindful listening? Mindful listening involves paying attention without judgment interruption. I guess the green one is right. as we press green, and we've reduced the size of the snake. So you can see that it's working. Obviously, we can type in some more information like, can you make the answers all in the same color for selection? And can you make the walls such that when we crash into them, the question is triggered, spelled correctly. So again, we're asking another question to refine the game. And yeah, I can't stress enough about this. AI is an iterative process. You ask it questions, you get feedback, you go back and forth until it's correct. And this is what it's doing. So it says, I made you updates you requested in the Mindful Snake game. Here are the changes: neutral colored answers and wall collisions. So again, it's resetting the game for us, and we can start the game, and it's got something wrong there. So we'll say the snake does not appear. And again, it will think about it and it will make changes to the code. So what's it going to tell us this time? You found an important bug. Thank you for the detailed feedback. I've reviewed the code and found the issue. The problem was in the advanced snake function. Obviously, this is of no interest to us whatsoever, but it says the game shouldn't have worked now as expected. We're just refreshing the game. Let's get rid of that. And now hopefully this will work. Okay, so here it worked. So the snake crashed into the wall. We have an answer. Game over. We didn't get it right, so the game didn't continue. So we'll start the game again, but this time we'll... Oh, now left, right, and up and down doesn't work, but you get the process. So hold on, left and up and down do not work. And again, it will go back and it'll fix the game for us. It's having a think about it. And now it's got hopefully it's fixed it. And the snake will now move in the correct direction when you press the up, down, left, right, and arrow keys. So although this looks like something that's taking a long time to work, a long time to fix, what it's doing is remarkable. It's listening to feedback, it's responding, and it's created for us a very manageable game just basically by interrogating the AI. So when should you use a mindful transition? Never. It's a waste of time. Only when you're feeling calm and happy between tasks or meetings, or do in between tasks and meetings. And we can see the game now responds. And now the game is working as intended. A visible snake game. And it will carry on working like that until we crash. And then we have another question. So there's our game completed. It took longer than I thought, but you get the idea. Google Gemini. It's a very good AI. It's good for all the standard things that ChatGPT does. Strangely enough, where it does fail down is on its interactions with the Google Workspace infrastructure. So, for instance, creating a PowerPoint presentation, it's easier to do in ChatGPT than it is with Gemini. Also, Gemini, when it's embedded within the Google Workspace infrastructure, it's not very good at interrogating all these emails that you have. And I'm sure there's data protection issues that it has to circumnavigate in order to get that all working. But as a standalone product for creating vibe coding, creating learning and training content, and the fact that it is, for a lot of users, very much free, it really makes it a great choice in the training space, and I'd thoroughly recommend it. Anyway, thank you for listening. A final word from our sponsors, Open Elms, for which you can create loads of great professional standard learning content, be that e-learning, videos, PowerPoint presentations, or gamification, in the same way that I've shown you with Gemini, but with less iterative back and flow. Many thanks, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video podcast.
Thanks for watching, and now a word from our prehistoric sponsors.
The AI is transcribing this meeting for everyone. I prefer to take notes. With a pen and paper, I'm quite sure the AI misses the nuance of my genius.